financial applications and websites, right? And then I joined the gaming industry, Play Lab. It's closed down now, but if some people might be knowing about it. Implementing those serious stuff into the gaming. And if you guys have played Juice Cubes, Jungle Cubes, some of the famous ones 2-3 years back, those all are done by me. By the way, if you take loan from Kesicon Bank, their application is tested by me. It should be busted. And yeah, after that I just came to the service industry. I worked as a product owner in one of the company for a couple of months, but then I realized that I can't appreciate the app which is not ready yet. I can criticize it by giving a lot of bugs and all to just make it better when it goes live. So today we're going to talk about Metaverse. There is no clear definition about Metaverse in the world yet. Some people say it's already there. Facebook has its own Metaverse of Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. But let's see what I have gathered here. So definition wise, Metaverse means beyond the universe, beyond the real universe. So it's people are trying to extend it. Like you live in the real world, it may be interrupted because of COVID, traffic, this and that. They're going to make a Metaverse stuff, a kind of more easy world where you can connect with help of AR, VR, different kind of technologies, or even in your mobile. You can just interact with some of Metaverse application with help of your mobile. So it's a mirroring of real life. Facebook is started. They are so serious they even changed their name because they want to be the first company to go in there and everybody to come into their Metaverse. Why it's important, we'll know later. That's why there are a lot of companies, big companies who are going to compete with themselves, and whoever comes first. Facebook has a lot of users with the help of Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. So they are most eligible to do this thing because they already have users. They just have to give a new product which is going to use their existing products into the Metaverse. Yeah, Metaverse, as we say, it's going to be a lot of connected applications and all with you as a single entity. You're not going to use different emails or different way of logging into the system. So you have to share your energy, currency, whatever you have, whatever you are going to use in the virtual world. And that is what is going to make it complex for developers, for QAs, everyone. And that is why flawlessness is important. Right now there are standalone applications. If you have bug in Facebook, it's not going to impact your Instagram or your WhatsApp or anything. But once these all are connected, then one bug can go and create repercussion effects, domino effect, that it can destroy many things, not only you, but also for other people who are connected with you. Type of apps. There could be many apps, but what I have gathered with my own thoughts and research and all, learning apps. There can be, thanks to COVID, that this is accelerated right now, that people are more into the virtual world. We call it Metaverse when it's fully developed. A virtual school where you can connect with help of AR and VR, and you can have accessibility. Teachers can teach anybody across the world, anytime, as well as the teaching material is available in a better format, like 3D model or something that you can see with help of your hardware. So yeah, it's what's going to happen in the Metaverse when it's ready. It will be, you are going to complete your whole degree virtually. It's not that because it's lockdown, so we are testing here, or it's a distant learning, there will be nothing like that. You log into your system with help of AR, VR, whatever. You complete your course, do your homework, give your exam, and here you have a degree all about within this Metaverse system. Gaming apps, if many people in Thailand, they play game. So if I take example of casino applications where you log into some casino game, and there, you can imagine like a real casino. You go inside, you convert into chips, your money, you convert that into chips, and then you can use it for different games, right? It's the same, you using your same currency, chips, using for baccarat, roulette, Sigbo, and other stuff. So this is kind of a little example of metaverse. I'm audible, right? I haven't used this for a very long time. Okay, so yeah, this is what they are kind of using their own casino metaverse kind of stuff that we are accessing with our current popular hardware, which is mobile, PC, or tablets and all. This is gonna change as soon as hardware is improved. Okay, social media apps, because metaverse is for humans. They go there virtually. Humans socialize, they talk to each other, interact with each other. So this is something gonna be most popular stuff, because even you are not doing any technical thing or any serious thing or playing games, you still have to socialize, right? So those apps will be very important, and that probably is the reason why Facebook is jumping in here, because they are already somewhat into it. They're gonna probably kill Instagram and WhatsApp and have one metaverse where you can do all that thing with just one entity, one ID. Maybe hologram appearance, whatever we see in sci-fi movies will be kind of real. This is most important. Business apps, where all these companies like Morphosis, 7 Weeks, this is where we're gonna generate more revenue. Okay, so any metaverse, because it's a virtual universe, so having a cycle of generating money and spending money, something that whoever is creating metaverse, they have to think about it. And that is what where all these businesses, business companies or app development companies, they have to come in, making a business application which are going to add value addition to the people's life. So they will have an exclusive virtual world business. You can create, for example, with the current system, it's you can create NFT. You can buy, you can show it off, you can display somewhere. Not everybody can create, but there are people who can create that. Companies or this Binance and all, they allow some of their designated registered people to create NFTs. Creating NFT is called minting, mint into NFT. Okay, so and there will be real life services which will be delivered in the virtual world, in your metaverse, that we can see. Online counseling, you don't have to go to doctor or your psychiatrist or anybody. Just have your VR, talk to them, talk to even their avatar or hologram or anything. Dating, you can imagine all the things that you can do with that in the VR. Job interviews, stock market actions, where right now we have small mobile applications and all, but metaverse you can just walk into, maybe stock market or some of your place where you can purchase, you can sell. Those serious things will be there. News broadcast, family gathering, we do video calls with family in office, but it's gonna be in the metaverse, it's gonna be there, right? That's pretty obvious. Movies together, we'll take an example of this one. Virtual tourism, it's already launched in many countries. If you don't have enough money to go far, you can just enjoy the places there with help of whatever 360-degree camera they have captured. Retail businesses, is Amazon and all, they have already started research on how they can just not let people come to their store. Travel a long time, spend money, go through the traffic and all. Just go to the virtual world, feel like you're walking into their mall, and then you can purchase by just going through it. And health and sports. So we'll talk about it. Incoming stuff. Okay. Hardware is not ready yet for supporting this thing. In fact, nothing much is ready. The infrastructure of internet and other thing is not ready. Developers are not ready to make that application. But whatever is available right now, we can just talk about it. So right now, most used tools are computer and mobile. Mobiles are the most, where we log in with these small systems and all and interact with them. But AR and VR, these technologies have to be more advanced as well as cheaper, so that common people can buy it. Oculus Lens from Microsoft, it costs $250,000. can see all the 3D stuff and all in AR. But yeah, not everybody will buy it. Okay. If you see Oculus Quest, what it can do, it has gaming applications, exercises that you can just put it on. Whatever you are seeing, you can jump around, you can do squats, you can do many things. So those things are already available. Creativity apps where you 3D model, you can make anything, you can do painting and all. Later on you can convert it into NFTs when Metaverse is ready. Video streaming applications, virtual world communities. Yeah, this is important. I have a link, but I can just explain. So you log into a system where you create your own avatar. You do meet people, basically their avatar, and do activities together. Yeah, living kind of another life with them, with whatever limited things developers has made available. That is kind of a metaverse where it's only on computers, not so much immersive that you can see their 3D model or you can walk with them or interact in a more fancy way, but it's there. So it's a kind of ready for metaverse once it is there. This is Oculus, this is Microsoft HoloLens. As Microsoft always does, they are more towards the enterprise, supporting the companies rather than the individual users, or making it more fun games and all. So this one is already there where you can see some 3D model of some important equipment in a factory, discuss with that with your friend sitting somewhere else remotely, and then make some decision. I feel it like more immersive, where you can see a 3D model, you can see different parts and take better decisions. So this is kind of AR, which is ready for Metaverse. Computers, I think I'll skip those, go through them pretty fast. This is Roblox, many people must already know. You create your own games, your own character, your own environment in that. You can play with other people, interact with other people, and you use computer to do that at this moment. Then mobile phones, yeah, NFTs, cryptocurrencies are there that we use mobile phones, and even some of the apps they even support smart watches where you can buy currency, you can pay in terms of bitcoins and all. So even this small device can support in interacting some way with the ecosystem of Metaverse. Mobile phone. There is a company called Aegis Wallet where you can have a QR code to send and receive your cryptocurrency, and I think that is gonna be very important in future. When, well, it's not necessarily be related to only cryptocurrency. Any kind of purchases should be associated with this, but this, when it interacts or it associates with the metaverse, there will be a digital currency which will not be supported by or issued by any government. There it will be useful. So, and it's convenient. You don't have to even take out your mobile phone and log in and go to your QR code. You just press it, it sees your biometrics, it opens the QR code, you can send and receive pretty easy. Alright, how can we master that? Master the hardware. How many testers are here? Are there no testers? I'm done. I guess no. Okay, no problem. These few slides are for testers, so you know the secret how they are going to test your app. Okay, how can we master that? Easy thing is you have to become an end user. You use all those AR, VR hardware, go to gaming cafes and other stuff, but yeah, it costs money, so you have to be rich to do that with all the latest things which are coming. Practical knowledge is important, but there are easy ways to do it, economical ways. Watching technology vlogs, it's very straightforward. When Apple launches something, new phone, new hardware, new AR, VR, new operating system, you just go through all of them. QA has to go through all of them and see what is new there, and think about what is the practical implementation of that. Some companies, They come with very fancy stuff, but maybe not useful at all. For example, Samsung, when they launched their curved edge phone first time, I was so surprised, like who needs that extra screen there? It may be looking very fancy, right? But then there was something like it can show you some notification when your phone is far, and it's like, it's not practical at all. Like who is so busy that you have to see your phone sitting on the table very far and you see a little bit notification scrolling like this stock market prices and all. It just doesn't make sense. But later on they proved that it is something that they want to make the phone look like bezel-less. So they curved it, it all looks like glasses. So that is a practical implementation of that. Okay, another example is Apple SharePlay. Anybody knows what is Apple SharePlay? It was launched 6-7 months before, right? Okay, so people already know. You call on FaceTime, and there are some apps, at least Apple TV application, where you can play and watch with some of with your friends, whoever you are calling on the FaceTime, and you feel like you are watching together. When you both, any of you start speaking, the volume of the movie or the series will be lowered down, so it gives a feeling of that you are watching with them. I don't know, maybe for some people it won't be that good. Maybe if you're watching some thriller or some suspense stuff, who is the murderer, you don't want to talk, right? You don't want to miss the plot. But for some people, you're watching some family drama, or at least this one, Ted, you can watch it together with your friends. Okay, so as a QA, because these things are not very common, what QAs have to do, which I myself do, I have Binance and this many of the wallets and all. I'm losing money all the time, but learning. At least for last 2 weeks we are losing money, right? Okay, so it may cost money, but I have a lot of knowledge. That's why I'm standing here after losing that much money. So use crypto wallet. I share a Netflix account with one of my friends living in the building, so he used to pay me cash or just transferring online, and I started asking in terms of bitcoins. Like you transfer Bitcoin from your Binance to my Binance, just 250 baht. Let's see what you can do. Okay, there are more changes. Like right now, people see Bitcoin as maybe a gambling or something that you can make a lot of money by investing it right now. But there is a Binance fan token stuff where you can actually put some money, maybe $2-3 US and all, and you can buy ownership of some football club, a little part of the ownership. And what you can do is they are making available a lot of things that you can vote for their decisions of what kind of jersey they should have, or which player they should buy next, or something of those decisions. So it's like companies have already started implementing this new technology into the real world business, and developers, especially in Thailand and all, in Southeast Asia, they have to start getting ready for it, because new requirements from those business owners will be based on that. Some people might already be getting this. Like one of my clients, he said, yeah, we have a game, we have this soft currency and all inside, how can we convert it into crypto? And then people use it. So, and that's a good value addition, because you play game, you earn in-app currency, and if that currency has a value outside in the real world that you can convert into US dollars or Thai baht, it's a plus point. You play game, you enjoy a game, playing game, and then whatever you earn, you can convert it into dollars, right? So it's pretty good. Okay. Play games, and games, you understand more. The games are the thing where you all the latest technology, especially related to feelings, they are implemented there. All this getting frustrated, getting challenged, and anxiety-related feelings are in the games, right? So, and all the technologies which are going to be implemented, they will be in the games first. So, if you play some game, if you are a gamer, then automatically you will have those things coming into your practice. Okay. User experience. Yeah, what process. Okay. So, in this ecosystem, is going to be very popular for non-tech savvy people. Right now, I was talking to a gentleman here. He said, "Yeah, it's very technical and all, and something I would like to know a little bit." But if you are old enough, like me, or more than me, then when smartphones were launched by Apple and Nokia, Symbian phones, it was all about that this is something very technical. It's for new generation. They are going to use all this stuff, and common people or non-tech people don't have to use it. And now the world is changed in 15, 17 years now, that smartphones are proved to be more helping for older people. And from gaming industry, so I'll give an example. Match 3 games like Candy Crush and all, their target audience is ladies more than 40 years old from North America. They are their target audience. They're not the kids, because those are the ones who have time and money, and it's very easy to play, right? You just match with one finger. So all these casual games are more popular among older people, not the youngsters and all. And that has made these kind of things, applications have made it more popular. All these phones, tablets are more popular among old people or non-tech people, I should say, compared to at any amount of time. So this is similar is going to happen with Metaverse. Like right now it looks like, yeah, I have to see the presentation, maybe I'm not related with it at all, but it will become like a mobile phone. Now, right now you can't live without your smartphone, right? You leave it at home and go out by mistake, you have to come back. You can't live without it. So this is similar thing is going to happen, because there will be a lot of features and applications or implementation in your real life that you can't live without it. You have to come with that. And as somebody said, technology has to become more human compared to people have to be trained to use the technology. Like you don't have to know, like a Nokia or those big phones with a lot of buttons, that which button does what. It's a smartphone, you touch what you see and action will be happening. Same is going to happen, or it's a similar concept of evolution or making of this metaverse, that you see now not only the small thing, not only use your sense of touching, it will be hand gestures and this and that, more of the things are coming in. So touch senses, voice recognition, body part gestures, all these things will be used. How testers will have to focus on that is something that they have to keep in their mind. When you play some app in VR or even AR, you have to see it should not have a motion sickness or a headache that you watch for 10 minutes and then you need to sleep for an hour. That shouldn't happen in the app. It may be something already working as designed, but if these kind of things are there, then developers have to fix it. They have to make it more smooth, maybe better graphics or whatever is the reason, whatever way they can fix it. Okay. Yeah, that's a head nodding in Indian style. So this is another example. So user interface is important, and a common user interface is important. So if you have head nodding, and if there is an Indian developer, he makes it in this way, it's not gonna be popular. Right? You have traveled. You haven't traveled India, but you will know. You already know probably. So yeah, the thing is, it has to be a natural gesture movement. That's what QA has to take care. It can't be a hand gesture in a way that is difficult to move. They should be very easy, that we are already using it in organic way. Okay, user experience. Yeah, Morphosis has a lot of work to do in future. It's all about user interface and user experience. So app must be easy to understand. That's valid for every kind of software. If it's a game, it must be fun, challenging, frustrating. And if it's a serious app, like you are creating an NFT, minting an NFT, it should be proper navigation. It should be something understandable very easily. It should not be like you need a training to do all that stuff. User experience. Okay. FTUE is the first time user experience. So when app is firstly launched, it it can have accident like this. When it's on computer, it won't harm you or won't harm the user. But if it is something related to this, it's gonna create serious problems, right? So first time user interface or tutorial of the application will be very important. And the app has to ensure that user has already learned. Many users, they just skip and then try to use it and then they get stuck. And that is something that app should not allow when it's implemented in this way. If you are doing some weird stuff or you have to move your body, app has to ensure that user is either also eligible to do it. It's not like he's differently abled and maybe it's not convenient for them to move forward in the application and they have a problem later on. So app has to ensure all that stuff. Okay, that's the whole thing. You might have heard if you have talked to any QA before or attended their meeting, where they define or they imagine when they test, they imagine all these scenario by themselves. Positive scenario, like I try to log in, I should be logged in. Negative scenario, I try to log in with the wrong user ID password, wrong biometrics, I should not be logged in. And then there are more complexities like direct negative, direct positive stuff, indirect negative, but I'll just leave that. Hardware dependency, so when app is there, as I said, showed the metaverse is going to be interacting with many different categories of applications. So your app should be supporting all of them. There is no, you can't skip anything. The technology has to be more human. Human are going to use any kind of hardware. So testing hardware is important. How to define like what kind of hardware should I test? Like if you want to test all Android devices, it's 6,000 plus different types of Android phones are there, right? Thanks to China. But you can't test it all. So easier thing is you should know where is your app or your feature is going to be launched, who is going to be using it. If it's something in Europe, you go check on different websites and say what are the popular devices there. And you try to capture 85% of those devices, users, that's enough. You know that they use hybrid. You go to Japan or you are making an app for Japan, your app should work on all iOS devices. That's kind of mandatory, right? It's 98% people use iPhone there. I read it somewhere, but functional test coverage, OS dependency. Okay, so because everybody works in Sprint and Agile these days, so OS is also new version is coming. You should test the current OS, the future OS, which is in development mode right now. If you are an authentic developer of Apple or Android, you should have access to their future operating system that they are making for their mobile, right? So same way in the metaverse also, you should have access if you are a developer, and then you should test, QA should test the application in that. And one OS behind, whatever is the popular right now, what is the second popular one that they launched last year or something. Network coverage, these are very basic one, which is like applicable to any kind of software or application. Network coverage, in different countries, different locations have different kind of internet. You have to make sure that it works with the maximum latency which your real targeted users are facing. It should work there. Cheat codes, we already know that there are something, we should know that in metaverse, if you take example of Pokemon Go, when you have to hash the eggs, it takes time and all. So testers, they don't have to waste that much time. You should have a cheat code, some secret stuff that you can do on the screen or press some button that it finishes so that you can test it faster. QAs can test it faster. And that cheat code helps in boundary value analysis testing. I can explain a bit. It's when some stage changes of like your egg is hatched, what happens just before, what happens at that time when a stage is changing, and what happens after that. 2 minutes, 5 minutes after that. That's a boundary value analysis, and that's what QA does to find bugs. That are the places where it's most chance to find a bug. Then test data. Virtual world, there are different kind of characters, people, rich, poor, male, female, new user, old user, and all kind of things. So they should have all that data that they can log in with that profile and make sure that it's all good for all those kind of people, all these different persona of people. Okay, metaverse is complex, right? It's just see if you can imagine that if you have a team of 4 or 5 developers, they create something by their own. It works on their computer, their sandbox, but when they mix it in the common repository, try to make a build and use it, it has problem, right? So imagine the metaverse where it's different companies, different developers, they're all putting their stuff at one place where it has to interact with each other and it has to work. That makes it very complex, and there are a lot of loopholes that people can actually use that to hack it or to cheat somebody. All your maybe cryptocurrency is gone, you just go walk to somebody in the metaverse and something is there that makes it more complex, and also it's important that it should be secured. Then API testing is pretty normal, but API testing in metaverse is, I think it's going to consume most time for the QAs, because it is going to be all interconnected systems and features and computers, and your application has to talk to different other applications, and it has like, it's made by some other developer on some other technology, but it's still integrated in same metaverse. So API testing is going to be important. Every time an API changes, there are all instructions and everything is like pretty dynamic. It changes so much. So testers have to ensure that if it's automated, it's better. Otherwise, they're going to spend a lot of time to do that. There are existing tools, Catalan, Postman, and all can be used. Okay, this is something important, because we know that all the technology or something, that implementation we talked about, some big companies have already started using what is already there, like NFTs. NFT right now, or Bitcoins, people see it as, let's buy it now, leave it for some months, and then it will be more value, and I will sell it, I'll make more money. But this is something that Coca-Cola implemented. It's a package of NFTs, where if you buy that, you will get a sound card NFT of Coke dripping from their soda fountain. So it is just a sound, where it's, I don't know, maybe some people will like it. And digital clothing of your NFT. So you can have a jacket like that with the Coca-Cola brand, and in the metaverse your character can wear it. It's authentic with some changes, not anybody else will have it, and you can just enjoy, show it off. It's something unique, like you go buy branded clothes, right? It's something like that. And you'll get a refrigerator, a physical one that will come to your home. NBA, I think this was famous, many people should already know that. NBA, all those important moments in important games, they created a small GIFs for those 10, 50, and they are selling it as an NFT. So you can own some last final match, last minute, last second point exclusively. It will be all yours, and you can sell it later on. So what these companies are doing with help of NFT is, people who have hobby of collecting, they are changing this physical collective stuff into digital that you can own. It's authentic. Nobody else can copy that. Nobody else will have that unless it is hacked by someone. Yeah. So it's kind of that they are. Big companies are already ready. They are already doing it, and developers have to be ready too. But these companies are going to request more and more stuff related to. At least they will ask for the cryptocurrency. You need to have something related to crypto, and if you have some special item in the application, if it converts into NFT where people can own it at a very high price, it's even better. So we all have to be ready for developing and testing that. Yeah, I think that's all.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we're going to take some questions.
Yes. Who wants to ask the first question?
Yeah.
You do.
Okay, let me do it. curious about NFT.
Yes.
What is different from the stock photo, Shutterstock? Now I feel like it's the same. It's just different currency.
Yes. Is it closed? No. The important thing is, if you know the full form, it's non-fungible tokens. So it is something that cannot be duplicated, at least in that metaverse. So if you own something, like Shutterstock, if all their images you imagine that they are NFTs. So if one person buys that photo, nobody else can buy it. That's why if you go to NFTs now, Binance and all, and you try to buy some image which looks very ordinary, it will cost like $5,000. And you will feel like, what? I'll just maximize it, take photo, and it's all mine. But it's not. In the universe, as I said, if it's authentic collectibles, if we see the implementation of NFT, that is authentic collectibles, and technology is going to ensure, blockchain technology is going to ensure that only you own that. You can copy it, keep it in your phone, but if you go to the metaverse, it will not be authentic. It will be a copy. You can't put it there. That's the thing.
What if they treat as a Shutterstock?
They do what?
What if they treat it as a Shutterstock, as a stock photo, stock like a Twitter? If they treat it like that, do you think is it going to change to be another form of?
Well, I don't understand.
Okay, I can explain to you, Nim. The blockchain is a ledger. And so that ledger allows you to know, who's the first creator of the picture. So that's why it's not like stock picture. Stock pictures, you sell it, and you can sell it 1,000 times, 100,000, 1 million times. It's just a copy every time. NFT allows you to buy the original. And you know it's the original because of that ledger, because of blockchain.
Okay,
That's why the value is there.
Okay, got it.
It's like piece of land. You buy it, you can't duplicate that, right? Owners can change, but the land will be there. It's just one unit will always be there. You can divide it, cut it. That's not true for crypto or blockchain, but that's one of the example that it's gonna remain authentic. Nobody can copy that.
It's a blockchain. The blockchain makes everything unique. You can track everything.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so over the last 10 years, as we develop new software, we have to change and adapt. So we design, develop, and test the software. And Metaverse, how much do you think this will change from software-based to human-based testing?
A lot. As some of my slides said, immersive testing is most important. So if you see examples of some mainframe application on, people have to learn that, how to use it. But if it is going to be using hardwares like AR and VR, it's all about senses, feeling, what you see, what you hear, and all that stuff. So I believe that there are a lot of automation testing going on. We are trying to, every time when there's a big project, we start with a manual testing, and as soon as that some feature is stable, we automate that and make sure that it's gonna be, we just run the script and make sure that it works fine. But with these applications, when I say it's more human, that means more human will be needed to test it. It's all about feeling and understanding and how a human is going to interact. It doesn't matter how backend is running behind. It doesn't matter who created and what kind of graphics and all are coming. What it matters is whoever is the user. It can be a differently abled person, and how it's going to make his life comfortable, better. Can be just playing a game, becoming fun and frustrated or whatever. But it's all about gonna be feelings. That's why they are creating it. It's same as you can see, as I explained previously. There will be like phones with a lot of buttons, and now it came to more about the feeling, right? Even Apple introduced a 3D touch. They introduced it because they wanted humans to use it, the technology to become more human. And if you have to test the 3D touch, you can't automate that, right? You have to have that sense of your finger to actually see whether it works or not. That's very basic example, but if you put it in Metaverse, where you will have all the VR and looking all around with high graphics and stuff, it will be all about that.
Okay, thank you. My question is, do you think the Metaverse API it can connect the unmanned end user like autonomous vehicle or qualified robots? They work in real world, and the people human computer interaction with remotely with this end user, not human, with devices. Connect the virtual world and the real world. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it will be there. Like right now in physical world, when you see kiosk, they are kind of robots, right? Doing very limited work, microcontrollers. So in virtual world also, where you are doing some repeated task, like we have coffee machines and all, right? You just scan the QR code to, what is that? Tau pin is there, the latest one. And it's going to be there too. Something that you don't need a human intervention. There is no ad hoc result of whatever action you want. Then it can be automated. And robots with a lot of big data trained AI system will be sitting there. And if you have some question about like how can I log into Binance, how can I register to Binance, it's simple example. They will just tell you, not even just writing all the thing, maybe they will just see your screen and tell you exactly, click here, do this, do that, and do this stuff, and then make sure that you are logged in. So definitely those will be there. I think we will not have enough humans to take care of all the things virtually, right? We'll do some work in the real world too, right? Yeah.
Yes, yeah, because I'm from the US researcher who is dealing with about the human interaction. We measure like brain, eyes tracking about it. So in my routine job, I do things like that. But I'm curious that how the thing that we are doing in the lab could be related to the like software-based testing, as people mentioning, for the Metaverse app in the near future. Just right. How is it related to?
Right. So because you are in UI UX team, you will have a lot of work to do in future. It's not just something that looks pretty when user launch the home page and then he goes into boring subsequent pages and all. Everything has to look like a real world, like something that they can interact with, something that they like. It should not be like in the real world. If you see that door is like slightly tilted or something is wrong, you won't like that, right? It just feels odd. So it's going to be more human and stuff. So when you are making your new designs and all, first thing, you have to be the real user like QA, because you have to know that how a user is going to use that, right? How they naturally move their head or move their hands, so that your design is compatible with the user action, right? You know about ergomatics in the mobile, right? The same kind of, maybe there is another word, is going to come in Metaverse, but that ergomatics in Metaverse is going to be important. So if you, your question is how it's related, it's all about that. As I explained to him, it's all about that. So you have to understand the hardware, understand the whole stuff, and then create based on whatever you have already learned. All right. Yes.
Yes, hello. And recently I bought Oculus Quest 2, and that's really opened a new world for me.
Wow.
And so, could you recommend or introduce some apps that you think are worth to try? Not only games, or it can be a broad application in different areas.
Okay.
Oh, that'd be serious.
Well, there are. What is important is in the center, in the limelight. Yeah, what is important is it all depends upon user to user. Like people used to ask me before, like friends might be asking you also, what phone should I buy? Like you can't tell user what phone they should buy because maybe you like nice camera, but the person who is asking, he won't like it. He just want to have a very loud speaker that he can listen to song while he's taking shower. Could be any weird thing, right? So if you want to ask me, try using some exercise apps. Not that I'm saying you are fat, but you can try that. Those are something that is gonna be a value addition for your life, right? If you play some games, play the games which are associated with a cryptocurrency, so that you will own some of the cryptocurrency in your wallet. It may reduce value in future, whatever, but you never know. It may increase the value, and you can convert it into real dollars with more value. So you can have fun of the games, and you can also have a currency that you can actually use it in future. If you log into Binance, you can actually book hotels in Thailand with help of cryptocurrency. You can have Lazada gift coupon, Shopee gift coupons and all. So you can, yeah, these things can be used. So yeah, use as per whatever is your lifestyle. Just search that what I want. All right.
So my question was about automated testing tools. So obviously 3D is a part of it, but audio is a part of it as well. I'm wondering if there's any current tools that you can use to test audio, chat, like microphone, speaker, etc. interaction.
Yeah, not something that I can think of. But if I can explain in a different way, audio of application or song or a game, for example, game has sounds, right? And when you are putting a sound code inside it, it's coded in a way that it can be copied, pasted, can be read in digital way, 0101, it can be read in that way, right? So when you are testing it, or QA is testing it in an automated way, they just have to go and test that code only. You can't test unless we have very highly enabled AI robots who can hear and tell you exactly what they heard, and is it as per expectation of what designer wanted or not. Till then, if you want to automate that stuff, you can automate only that code level, checking at the code level. Like we call white box testing, right? You can just check the code. If code is better, you assume that it's working fine. Something I can't hear. I can think that any automated tool which can test the sound, right? Anybody knows? Probably it doesn't exist in Thailand yet. Okay. What else?
More questions?
Okay, you showed the verse and the metaverse and the testing and all these kind of related things. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Thanks.
No problem.
My question for you is this. We've been more immersive, we've been more human. My question for you, I ask your opinion, not the, I ask to a person.
Okay.
We are more feeling, we feel the feelings, okay? How much this app can help us as human? Because at the end of the game, the software helps something, helps to do something, helps a doctor to connect with her patients, or help a boy without the legs to walk again and probably run.
Yeah.
Because this was your first slide about the school, the teaching, and so on. There is here in Asia is uncovered the percentage of people with the ADHD, the dyslexia, and so on.
Yeah.
According to your opinion, because this is we go so much in the future, how much this verse can help us?
Okay. So we can have two categories of feelings. First thing is entertainment. Like you want to enjoy games, you want to enjoy music, you want to do many things. So that is definitely an optional thing, right? Metaverse, you go, you try to play some game, you try to enjoy the stuff. But second category is something that helps to complete the life of people, right? And that is where it will be important, of course, because it's not that you have to do all those. Let's take a small example, like if you run, you have a limited speed in the physical life, right? You can't run more than that based on your stamina. Or how long can you run? How many hours, or not hours, maybe minutes. But in that world, you can run more, right? You can have some. Just I run one step, and that should be treated as 10 steps. That can enhance your feeling. You have used the trampoline, right? You can jump a lot, and after using it for 15 minutes, when you try to walk normally, you suddenly feel very heavy. It's like, what happened to my body? Right, so it's gonna be, once it is heavily used, then it will be something, will be part of your life. And you will do those things very easily, which you normally were not doing, right? Like before, I think now you have mobile phone in pocket, talking to your family somewhere in thousands of kilometers away. Now it has become very normal, right? Before it was you have to go to public call office, put the number, book the trunk call, do this, do that, and then you can hear their voice. Now you can just see them in a matter of fractions of seconds, right? So it's definitely, once those are there and popular, like everybody has that, then it's gonna create a huge value addition. You can have dinner with your family virtually sitting with their avatar. That it may look any kind of weird, but you can actually feel that they are there, right?
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, that's just imagine. Yeah, it's gonna be a very nice world in future.
See, for me, since I come from when I was younger, my future is enterprise, 4 to teletransport, engage. So this is my future.
Okay.
Or kid, I am here.
Yeah.
Okay. So for me, this what you described me seems like more as a matrix.
Yeah.
Because became so normal use that is so common to use that, then is accessible for everyone and is normal in my life. My question is, in which kind of verse I want to live?
How can I tell that?
No. It's my open question, of course. I
Okay.
don't pretend an answer.
I can explain something that will help you to decide where you want to live.
Yeah.
Okay, so one thing is important. It's not gonna change. It doesn't matter how advanced the metaverse is a limited time in the real life. So you can have a lot of features. Like my iPhone, it has.
Like when I was younger, the papa shut down the TV.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
So because its time is limited, right?
Okay.
You have to do something else in the physical life. I have a lot of apps in my phone. Some of the apps I just haven't used it for many months. It's like I installed it at that time. I was in some mood to install something, and then now it doesn't have any value in my life. So when you are in metaverse, you enjoy the stuff. Later on, it has to also incorporate in your real life. Like how much can you use that? Right? There might be gamers here who have become professional now, and now you don't have time to play games. You just living with a history that I used to play Age of Empire for all night. I still not sleeping. Yes, you can't do it anymore. So you have limited time. That's true. Metaverse will be. How much people are interacting is based on how much real time in the real world. How much time do they have to go inside there?
All right, we're going to take one or two more questions, and after we are going to eat pizzas and drink.
Just very short questions. Have you ever known that any company developed the metaverse for educational purpose? Yeah, I mean, the student did not go to the school on site during COVID-19, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they can sitting down there in the metaverse. And talking to their teachers, right? And study the thought subject.
Sure. I think all the schools did that. There's no development needed because it was all about call over Zoom or Google Meet and all. During the lockdown time, when the school could just wait for 6 months to get the fees, and then still lockdown was going on, so they started online classes. So they get an excuse to get money from parents every month or every quarter, whatever. So they already started that, but it was all of because it was mandatory. It was important for business. Business is stopped, 1.5 years, schools are not open. The ecosystem of money there, education, business was all blocked. But then that also there were developers. I know the company in India, it's called Baiju. It's an online university where you can log in. You can have a classes, individual classes, and you can complete the courses and get the degree. So those applications are already there, though hardware and network stuff is not that ready yet that you can put your VR glasses and see the teacher directly, right? But that ecosystem is slowly coming in. That like internet started with first generation, second generation, and now we can have 400, 700 Mbps of speed with 5G. Once that is there, then these developers, Morphosis and 7 Peaks, they will make these kind of applications which are ready for this ecosystem. Welcome.
Do we have one more question?
Yeah, we saw like application like Steppen move to earn. In the future, is there any way that application gonna be providing job in Metaverse in order to make people earn money from Metaverse and use it in the real world?
What app did you talk this on?
That one is Steppen, is move to earn. You can buy a sneaker and earn some token from the application.
Okay. Well, if we talk about virtual world, of course, all the things. In fact, every business which is offline in the real world, it will be online also, right? Like consultation. Like I think in US still, if you need a regular consultation with doctor, you just have to do a video call. You don't have to visit hospital or clinic anymore. So those things are going to be there, but then there are supporting businesses which are like who will manage all that appointments of the doctor. There is some job is created, right? A personal assistant, virtual personal assistant, because doctor is not gonna book all his calendars, right? Not see which call is gonna come and who I'm going to talk next. There will be jobs created, of course, which are going to be once these core businesses from offline, once they move online, there will be supporting jobs will be created, mostly about management of those, maintenance of those. Like for software engineers, definitely it's a lot of work because this whole ecosystem is running 24 hours. There may be issues, there may be new, some missing requirements that they have to implement in next version. There may be more improvement because your network type is improved and hardware is improved. So they're going to improve their application also that has more features, right? So of course, a lot of jobs.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone. You can give him the big applause.
Thank you. No problem.
So back next week. There's some food and drinks, so if you guys want to stay and just enjoy, doing some networking, please stay over. If not, thank you very much for coming tonight. Yeah.
Thank you.